You can leave. It doesn't. I guess we're on the air. Hey, everybody. I'm Shay, and I'm here
Hello.
with Catherine Britt.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm great now. I've just played a great show and in a great venue, and I'm happy.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, we enjoyed it.
Thank
so
you.
I usually start these off by talking about the history of us and the artist, and this is it. We've made history tonight. This is your first time here.
My first time, and hopefully we can do it again. It's been great, and it was really awesome because I tour America all the time, although the pandemic put a little 2-year hiatus on that.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, we all know. But I'd never played here, so I was, you're always nervous, like, will anyone come? Will
Right.
anyone know who I am? And it's always nice to see people in the crowd. So, yeah. It was wonderful.
So you've never played Houston before, you said?
No, I don't think I have played Houston. I did do a tour, but I'm pretty sure it was mostly East Coast with Brooks and Dunn and Alan Jackson.
Oh.
But it was like, it was stadiums and like it was a bit different. But we didn't come to Houston.
Okay.
So, yeah.
They're big here, those guys.
Yeah, I bet they are. Aren't they big everywhere?
Yeah, they're big everywhere. So I'm going to get these little questions I got for you.
Okay.
What is the first record you bought with your own hard-earned money?
Oh, that's going to be embarrassing, I'm sure.
That's why I ask it.
Okay, so there's this, you wouldn't even know, which is kind of good. There's this band in Australia that was around when I was a little girl, and it was like an Australian version of the Spice Girls, and they were called Girlfriend, and they were so bad.
Didn't the Spice Girls have
They
a
were
song?
so good bad. I loved that stuff. I loved Britney Spears and like, all of that when I was a little girl.
I love Britney Spears.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
She is
Don't
amazing.
tell anyone.
I want to see her in Vegas.
Oh, I've seen her.
Have you?
She's incredible. She's amazing. I mean, you can't deny the talent there, I guess, but she cray. I love it.
So was the first concert? Was it the...
First concert, a little better. I went and saw John Fogerty with my dad when I was 9. So that was my first ever concert. So
What's the first one you wanted to go? Like the one you bought tickets for?
I'm trying to remember because I probably, at that point, my dad was on the radio in Australia. So we'd go along to all the big country singers in Australia. We'd go along to their shows and Dad would interview them. So I got to see all the major, I saw Casey and the Dead Ringer Band, back before she was Casey Chambers.
Right.
And all of our big stars that are back home, I got to meet them as a little girl. And, Dad interviewed them and we'd see the gigs.
So you saw a bunch of stuff.
I saw a bunch of
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, I can't even remember what would have been first, probably because I was doing gigs,
Right.
from a young age. I was going to the local country music club and getting up and singing from a little girl. So, yeah.
Nice. So who was, to conclude who was the first artist you put on a pedestal?
I reckon it was Loretta Lynn definitely changed things for me.
Okay.
But I think as far as like an obsession goes, I have always been not secretly, very openly obsessed with Hank Williams Sr. I don't know, something about him and his music and his songs and the way he sings that I just can't move past. He's just always been my favorite. And I named my son Hank after him. So, yeah, I'm a big fan.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah,
a lot of
he's
people
pretty good.
So.
Yeah,
he did pretty well for himself.
Especially in the short time he was
alive.
alive.
It wasn't a long career.
Man.
So you're moving to an island. You got 3 records. What are you taking with you? I know this is kind of on the spot, but...
Man. Well, I'd probably have to take it's hard because Hank, released records when it was like 2 songs. So
you can take a
can I take a Hank best of?
I usually don't allow greatest hits, but for Hank I will.
Yeah, because you kind of have to, otherwise I'm not getting many songs.
Right.
I'd probably take a Hank Williams best of. I'm trying to think of albums that I always go back to. It's really weird, but there's an album that Patty Griffin released called Living with Ghosts, and I always go back to it. I don't know what it is about that record. I love it, and I know every lyric, every inflection in her voice. I know it, like I can sing it top to bottom. So that's probably always a record that I love. This would change daily, by the way.
Of course,
this
I know
is
you're
just
gonna. I always
today's
tell people it's like
opinion.
you're gonna be driving away from the venue, and you're like, I should have said this.
Yeah, totally. This is really hard. I'm gonna say, another favorite album. Maybe like.
Not this.
Off the top of my head, I'm just gonna say because I really love Brandi Carlile right now.
Right.
So maybe The Story.
Okay.
It's a really great record. But that's not really my answer. But that's all I can think of.
Well,
right now.
if during this,
I love you, Brandy.
the next 5 minutes, if you come up with another one, you can blurt it out.
Okay.
So, did you growing up in the music? Did you ever have an aha moment as far as you saw something, read a lyric, heard something that made you say, "This is what I want to do for a living," or was it just sort of you're around it?
I think that movie, Coal Miner's Daughter, was my aha moment because before that, I was really unfocused. I just knew I wanted to sing and I was just the annoying little sister that my brothers used to pay me to shut up. I'm not even joking. They'd be like, please, if you just shut up for 1 minute, we'll give you $1. I couldn't do it. I was just such a little attention seeker and I loved singing. And it wasn't until I saw that movie and I was about 9 at the time and I switched completely from singing, Little Mermaid to trying to sing country music.
Wow.
And, I think that people kind of say to me, oh, you haven't got an accent. You kind of sound whatever. And I said, well, that's because I grew up singing Loretta Lynn. That, you can't sing that stuff and make it rhyme if you sing it with an Australian accent. Right. So I kind of just learnt to sing, a bit Beatles, generic, not Australian, ochre, not too American. But, it just changed everything for me was just that movie. I don't know why.
Did you hear that Lady Gaga's they're going to redo it and Lady Gaga's going to play the part?
Are you joking?
I made it up.
Oh my God, I was going to say no. That is not.
No.
Sissy Spacek was so good.
Yeah, but they remake everything. They've done A Star Is Born 9 times.
I don't feel like Lady Gaga's the person.
I don't either, but
no. Because Sissy sang all the songs on that record.
I think you should do it.
Okay.
So it's good for you, but not Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Well, she's doing all right. Yeah, she'll be fine. She earns enough money.
So the big question of the night is, what are we Netflix and Hulu, and what shows you got for us? What are you watching?
Right now I'm watching this really weird little show called Alba. It's very full on. I don't know if I would recommend it. It's pretty intense, but it's Italian. It's in Italian, and it's a really great Netflix show. But I noticed you have different shows on your Netflix, so I need to dig more through the American Netflix because I'm like, oh, there's all these shows we don't have in Australia. So
how much longer are you here?
About a week and a half.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, totally. I can binge something in a week and a half.
Absolutely. So in the interview, we're gonna do some either ors. Just because you say you like one doesn't mean you dislike the other. It's just a preference. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Okay.
Jim Lauderdale didn't answer any of them, but he probably knows half the people. So.
Oh, I love Jim Lauderdale.
First one is Beatles or Stones, universal one.
I'd probably go Beatles.
Okay. Dolly or Aretha?
Dolly.
That was quick.
Yeah, that's a definite.
Elvis or Sinatra?
Elvis.
Willie or Johnny?
Johnny.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson.
Thank you. Lady Gaga or Madonna?
Oh, Madonna.
Thank you. Metallica or Black Sabbath?
Metallica.
Thank you. Billie Eilish or Adele? You're doing wonderful. You're passing this.
Thank you.
Not as a test.
What was that one?
Billie Eilish or Adele?
They're so different.
Yeah.
I think they're both great, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, they've both got their own things.
That's cool. I totally agree with you. I'd take Billie, but
I think Adele, if I had to choose, though, between them.
Okay. John Prine or Bob Dylan?
John Prine.
I got one more for you. Keith Urban or AC/DC?
AC/DC.
Keep in mind,
I love Keith.
AC/DC is Australia's greatest export.
Exactly. Yeah, they're classic rock and roll, and Keith's, our big country star. So
you did very well on that test.
Yay.
Secretly, that's a test.
Whew, that was intense.
Cool meter, but not really.
Thanks for that stress.
That's all I got for you. Thanks for sitting with me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.